And I think if you knew how it was.
And we didn't know what you were going to be doing or whether you're going to be coming back or whether you're going to be travelling around your car. So it's her 60th birthday present, the Urban Tribe here, who often helps us raise money for arts
tell you
and
where
stuff.
this is too.
we brought her a swag because she'd been asking for a swag for many years. And
where is that swag?
Yeah, right.
Okay, I'll tell you where
that
swag is. That swag is up in the rafters of an engineering company in Walgett.
Oh, nice. But at least you've still got it. Yeah.
It was, when my...
Because you've got to tell people how you just jump in your car, a 4-cylinder no less, that everybody knows. You've heard my car accident story. And so we all of us, her family and her friends, we all hold our breath every time Lois jumps in her 4-cylinder car to go across the Nullarbor. We go, is she going to make it this time? Is she going to be all right?
And I am a very slow driver. I drive at 80 k's.
We all know
at night
sometimes. We all get stuck behind those, don't we?
And so I can be very annoying, which is why nighttime driving is very good. There's less
which is
on
also
the road.
dangerous over the cruise and everything.
No, but at 80 k's I have learned that's you've got stopping power, but nonetheless I have encountered a few.
Just recently?
Yeah, so yes, recently it was a pig. But
you got to tell that story. Okay.
I have to take accountability for I wrote the same car off twice. RAC, I have to go fair call. So I wrote it off once when I and a kangaroo met. And it was like, we both saw it, looked at each other, and I had been promised that I would not kill an animal on my journey. So when I hit this kangaroo, I was cranky. And anyway, I turned around to go back, but he had jumped off. So
he was okay.
He took my light out.
Was it a red or was it smaller?
No, it was a big one.
Big red.
Yeah, it was a blondie red, strawberry blonde. And I was very grateful that it had hopped away, and I mentioned it I went up to Kimber and got my light. The guys at Kimber were lovely on that occasion. I pulled into the mechanics and he said, "Here, tech screw, hold it all
together,
and go up and see the auto electrician. He'll sort you out." And so went up to see him, see what I could do and salvage, and he got it so that my indicators were working. I had one light out, and they got me home. So when I was at Sejuna, I was at the petrol station with one eye on my car, and there were the cops, and so I thought, I'm going to ask them. So I said, what's the thoughts? I've tried to get a new light and there wasn't one available. Can I drive this home? And he said, strictly speaking, no, you can't. But as long as we can see that you're intending, and so go. So I had a nod of approval. So I drove it. The idea was that I was going to drive it back to Perth, get the insurance sorted, come and drive back. Anyway, they wrote it off. I bought it back, fixed it up. Took it over the pits, it was fine.
Okay.
So when it came to this occasion, and what I was going to tell you was that when I hit that kangaroo, I was in fear. And I've been told, no fear, you're not allowed to journey in fear. It's not okay.
Well, I did share in the second episode, it was the first episode we did, wasn't it? I wrote out, I said, it was you that taught me that for those very early days where you said, Cal, all I've got to say is just choose love instead of fear. When we were making that decision about Kingsperth Hotel as the studio.
They're easy words to say.
Of course, but sometimes the great kind of phrases come from people who are working through themselves.
I'm
right?
sure I heard it somewhere.
It stayed with me to this day, and we've used it a lot. But we talk about it a lot.
It's strong. It's a strong word.
I always check in now. If I'm feeling fear, I go, okay, this deserves some attention. I need to look into this. Why am I feeling the fear? Is it genuine? Is the fear meant for me to move through the fear and find the love in it, or am I meant to just walk away and choose love over fear? If you're making decisions out of a place of fear, probably not healthy. but do you need to walk through the wall of fire to get to the love sort of thing? But what it does, that phrase stayed with me, and it always acts as a little marker for me and a reminder that when I'm in a place of indecision about something, I always check in now and say, is this decision or is this thinking coming from a place of fear or from a place of love? Mm-hmm. And from there I can navigate my way through.
It is a good navigation.
It is a good little thing. It's magical.
Yeah. Well, it's an age old. It's in every...
It is.
Love song.
But having a phrase that you can anchor it on, I find very helpful. That's when I talk about pragmatic spirituality, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, it's interesting because I think we normally consider the opposite of love to be hate, but
it's not. It's not. It's just fear. Yeah, hate's a funny emotion, isn't it? Yeah.
So going back to where my swag is.
Yes.
I am on my way to Queensland, and again, this is a heart hope. Is Queensland is representing a really strong hope, a heart hope, which is a spiritual hope, not a So, and interestingly enough, I get to Burke, and I can't find the road. I'm deciding to go whether I go left or straight up. And I've decided that way it's 150 k's shorter, and I've only got 8 hours to get there, so I'm going that way. But I couldn't find the right road, and I was like, this is going in the wrong direction. So I stopped, and I thought I've got to go back and find out from the local shops where to go. Anyway, I pulled into the local shop. Just as I was there, another guy pulls up and says, "You looked a bit lost out there. Where are you trying to head?" And I said, "I'm trying to go to Moree." And he said, "Yeah, that's this road. Come on, I'll show you." I said, "And fuel, I can't find the good fuel. I wanted 98 fuel." And it's like, no. So he said, "Come with me, I'll take you." He took me up to the petrol station. He said, "Go that way." And I'm sure I had met that guy 12 months earlier in Moree. No, in Coonabarabri.
Oh, really? You didn't tell me that part of the story.
No, because I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure he recognised me and I recognised him, and we kind of knew, and it was like... Yeah. So it was a lovely, and I was going to tell you this bit. He said to me, "Be careful of kangaroos." Mm-hmm. And I said, "I have just come up from South Australia. I'm good. And there are goats and kangaroos, I'm fine."
You wasn't expecting what was coming though.
So on that road to Moree, I was probably about 300 kilometres from Moree, outside a little town called Walgett. I was also being naughty. I wasn't concentrating on the road, and I always concentrate. I'm travelling at 80 k's so that when I see something I can stop.
80 k's.
And I'm telling you,
both as bad as each other with talking on the phone when you're driving. I tell you both off.
She does hands-free.
She does exactly the same.
I have hands-free in my car.
Me too.
I don't hold a phone or anything.
No, but you look at the video. You were talking video calling me. Anyway, another conversation for another time.
No, and those days are gone. They're on to us. Everybody is fair warning. We will get caught. But so not looking at my thing. All I see is 4 little legs.
Yeah.
And it's like, ooh. And
what was it?
It was a little black pig. He was about
Is
that
it like
big.
a wild boar?
I didn't know this, but that's pig hunting country. So
that's because they've gone feral and there's lots of them.
There are. Yeah. So and again it was like I'm not killing anything, remember?
Yeah.
So I fixed my little light bar because that had come off. I hooked that back on and went back to find this little pig, and there it was on the side of the road. No, just on the edge of the road. All whole, like he wasn't damaged, but he had his little nose and eye, and he was totally still. So it was like little prayer for the pig. I don't know whether he got up and going, but I kind of like to believe that
so
he
you
did.
did right.
I put it off the road, and this was only a little one, but that wasn't actually the end of my car because I could keep driving. So
really?
So I kept driving, but the problem was that right just to the left of the divider there was some roadkill, and I was like, and there's soft shoulders and no, so it's like, what do? Do I go over the other side of the
Explain
road? Do
what
I
you mean by
go
soft
off the
shoulder.
road, or do I straddle? I straddled it. And because of it had hit the pig and it had damaged the underboard,
Carriage.
this just ripped it out.
Oh, really?
And yeah, just ripped out the bottom board and it took the radiator down because the radiator was on the bottom. Anyway, that was that, and I pulled off to the side of the road, tried to call the RAC. The RAC, well,
You're too far out.
well, pretty much. This was hilarious. I'm with RAA. My address is RAA in South Australia. My address is Western Australia, and I'm broken down in New South Wales.
Yeah, but that doesn't surprise me.
And so they said,
your story.
and they said,
Yeah, it's her story, isn't it? Yeah, it's her story.
okay, you're gonna have to organise your own towing. This is in the middle of the night.
In the
And
middle of nowhere.
I said, I don't know who to ask. Can you look up for me? So he gave me 2 numbers. So I called the local tow truck driver at 11 o'clock at night. It was like, no answer. Okay, that's me camping here for the night. So I did pull off onto the shoulder.
Did you have your swag?
No, I slept in the back, Kel. I'm sorry. I have to be very serious about stopping to pull the swag out. So
This girl can sleep anywhere. I've travelled with her and I'm amazed that it doesn't matter. She can lie down on the floor of a hotel room in between 2 perfectly good beds and go to sleep.
Oh, and sometimes it's a preferred option.
Yeah.
But so I slept there, and then the next morning, 7 o'clock, I'm calling the what's the name? No answer. So it's like, oh, so now what? So I'm getting out, and then out comes this little car, and I didn't do poor me pleading, but he must have thought poor her.
Good.
And he did a little U-turn and came back, and he said, "You okay?" And I said, "I don't really know." I said, I think I'm done because the radiator, all the water's gone.
Yeah.
Anyway, he came over and he put his head in and he said, "It's so cold, I reckon, you're only 25 k's out, I reckon you could limp this in. Just take it really gently."
Okay.
So that's, I think, love you, matey. Thank you for that. I hope your boss doesn't growl at you for getting there late, because he said, "I've got to go, I'm really sorry, I can't help do any more.
Yeah.
I've got to get to work." So I said, "I hope your boss looks after you. Tell him that you looked after someone on the road."
Yeah.
So anyway,
In distances in Australia, that sort of, they call it matemanship, is very
yeah.
important, or looking out after one another.
Well,
Anyway,
yeah.
I've got to just
That's
tell
right.
you the end of that little story,
Yes.
because I went into town and broke down in the middle of this main street. There was a guy fixing up a fence across the road, and I said, first of all, "Do you know where the mechanic shop is that I can take this thing to?" Then it broke down. Then he pushed me off the road. Then he jump started me, and then he took me right around. He said, "Come with me," and took me to so. And he was lovely. He was like, "If you need somewhere to stay, there's not much. Give us a hoy." Da 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 da. So
once
Where
again,
was
you
this?
land and you still go back there, aren't you?
yeah. Oh, there's so much more to the story.
Okay.
So Walgett, I had gone there. I'd gone there 12 months earlier, specifically to visit the pastor of the Anglican Church, who was an Indigenous pastor. And I'd shared something with him that was in my heart, and I don't think he agreed with me.
Oh.
So, and not only that, I'd gone to a Aboriginal convention in South Australia in January, 6 months prior, and I met him again, and I couldn't remember his name, so I was kind of
Yeah, on the spot.
awkward.
Everybody's been
so
there.
it was an awkward.
Yeah, right.
And so now I've broken down outside his town.
Don't you just call him pastor? Or that's
Probably,
the good
yeah,
part of being,
yeah.
having that sort of role in the community.
Yeah. Anyway,
It's like being the doctor.
Yeah.
Finish our story.
yeah, to finish my story, so I then have to get my car sorted, find some accommodation, because they're telling me now it's months. You're going to be months before that's going to get fixed, if it gets fixed at all. So I take it down to the RAC, to the guy who's the RAC man. He said, "Leave it with me. We'll get the assessors, all the very best." So I'm now, where am I going to stay? Everything's booked out except for $160 a night.
Did you get your swag out then?
Well, the story is unfolding.
Okay.
So I walk up and down. I go into Mission Australia. nothing. Anyway, Mission
Oh,
Australia,
really?
not everybody is jam-packed. Not only that, there's a couple
Who would
of...
expect that in a small town?
This is a very interesting town.
Okay.
Honestly, if I said to you there'd be 30 houses that are boarded up, I would be not exaggerating.
Oh, really?
And this isn't
Okay.
a small town. They're everything. There's a shortage of housing.
Yeah. There is everywhere else.
And the one place that is kind of like backpackers, they're not looking after me because they look after backpackers. So at the end of the day, it's like, I'm going to have to go and knock on the pastor's door.
Continue that story, understanding.
And so anyway, the lady from Mission Australia was beautiful. She said, I'd take you home, but I'm not allowed to. And I said, I actually appreciate that. You'd burn yourself out in a heartbeat if you looked after, if you've got to hold those boundaries. Anyway, so she took me down to the pastor's place, and the pastor said, I'll take her down to the caravan park. So she's like, okay, we'll go and get your swag and go down to
I'm glad to hear it finally got some use.
and it's not a caravan park, it's just the free space where everybody parks their caravan. So all right, I get down there, but we get down there and then the pastor's wife goes, you're not staying here. She said, we'll put a mattress in the church. So you'll stay there till Monday. Like, and it's like, okay. So
that would have been good.
It
You
was
would have loved that. I was
delightful.
about to say you would have loved that.
It was delightful. I'll show you. I've got a photo of that. Anyway, that was delightful. So that's okay. Sunday afternoon, I go to church. Sunday evening, the pastor's wife rings me up and says, "Do you do fencing? Can you do any fencing?" I was like, "I can do fencing. We built fences when we were kids." So one of the local farmers,
like rabbit-proof fencing type of fencing that they're talking about.
Like
not
farming.
quite rabbit-proof fencing,
The farm.
but yes, I'll tell you. There's a lady who's taken on the farming of her family farm. It's been in her family for generations. Her brother, a couple of years ago, who's been the farm manager, died. Two sisters. She's been an administrator in Dubbo Council and Now she's been living on the farm, but
and now
she's not been taught because she's the sister.
Yeah.
Got it.
So now she's the farmer.
Oh gosh.
Anyway,
how old is she?
Over 70.
Oh god, poor thing.
So
Well, that's a big thing.
she's got there's a problem with goats and other feral things. So she's just landed a kill date for the goats. Which means, she's got to make sure she's got the right kind of goat, the right number of goats,
Right.
the people sorted to pack, and
right
she's got
permits.
sheep yards, and she needs to make them goat proof, and goats jump.
Yeah.
So what she needed help with is to make sure that the sheep yards were goat proof. So that's where I
Okay,
came
so she
in.
didn't have to do culling.
Hey, the mustering came later,
Okay.
but I was too new to the terrain to do that muster because the ground is just different, and you really have to get to know it.
So we probably should take a step back. You did grow up on a farm? Was that where you were doing fencing? Where
Oh
were you
no,
doing
that was in
fencing?
Gosnells, in Gay Street, Gosnells.
Jolene, I think Kizzy wants to get out.
My dad bought a block of land out in the middle of the bush, and we fenced it.
Go on. Where you go, Giz?
Come on.
Go.
Yeah, you can go.
So
He says, no, I just want to sit next to
But
Jolene.
I'd seen fencing, and
You're better at
I was
reading
born
than
in
I was,
Esperance
Yeah.
on farming properties.
You're very excited.
But I've not been a farmer.
Right.
You know,
Ah,
but-
No, like me. We didn't grow up on farms as such, but we had the little stuff up, and we had dairy farm that we were always on holiday. You learn, don't you? Little bits, but not enough.
Just being around, you get a sensibility.
Yeah.
That's it, and that's all it. So I had the sensibility.
So I was thinking, where do you learn fencing? You must have
On the
been
job.
on a farm.
On the
at
job,
some
yeah.
point,
But I did know enough to understand them.
Yeah, we
understand
had
what
to
was
do
going
fencing
on.
with Dad, but it was only a little small 12-acre block. But you learn.
Yeah.
Anyway, that then turned into, do you want to stay till we finish shearing? So that's where I got to do the mustering, helping with mustering. That was lovely. Stock work is lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very gentle
I
job.
can see you and Jodie out there
Very
now with your dryers bone jackets and your cougar hats and.
Yeah, well, it was rug up business. It was really.
So did you get your car fixed?
I just one
Anyone else following
sorry.
the story?
one little detail I need to add is the young man who helped me on the side of the road lives on this lady's farm.
Oh.
Right.
So we couldn't believe it when it was like, I wonder if it's the same Jay.
So he didn't direct you to her.
No.
No.
No, so you're there and it was
to get the car in.
Yeah.
That
Amazing.
Yeah.
Another
Yes, that was
serendipitous
it was just
situation.
delightful. So, and the girl from Mission Australia on the first weekend, she said, "Come down and join us, all the girls down the quilters. We've got quilters."
Oh yeah.
So, and that's where I got my first little job before even the farming one, which was cleaning someone's
All right, my
shop.
turn. My
And
turn.
that shop is where the swag is.
Ah.
So
But
I feel like
What happened to the car?
And yet she sent me a very fancy picture of a very fancy room. She says, "Look where I'm staying."
That's
It was very
it's,
beautiful.
it was that was.
I thought, well, she's landed.
an
She's
old
landed on her
homestead.
feet again.
That was an old homestead.
Yeah, beautiful.
So
So I'm picturing the wraparound veranda and
Totally.
maybe even
Yeah.
bullnose.
yeah, not quite bullnose, but it's I'd never seen it. There's the central living room. Yeah, it was homestead stuff.
Australian homestead.
Like wooden panelled
Yeah.
central living room with beautiful fireplace and all older now.
And
Like
then maybe a bit more sort of Victorian influence.
yeah, I think it was built in the 40s, 30s.
Yeah.
or
Yeah, then that
40s.
would have
Yeah,
that Federation influence.
and
rather than
a
colonial.
traditional farm kitchen, and you could just see this
The
woman.
wood oven, the
Oh no,
meter or whatever.
she'd put in
No, it
a
was
very
modernised,
beautiful gas range, and she was saying her brother said, does it need to be that big? And she said, yes, it does. And he never questioned her.
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
So, but it was like 1,000 cupboards. Oh well, the story was that the car was written off.
Yep.
Oh, there's parts of this story I don't want to tell.
But you don't
I
have to-
didn't end up
do
with
not
any
have to.
insurance back, though I was fully comprehensively insured. I basically came out of it with no money.
Oh, really? How did that work? You had comprehensive insurance.
So, because you drove it into town.
because I had already had it written off once before. I'm now double excess.
Oh.
And I've just had not one incident, I've had 2 incidences. That's 2 times double excess.
Oh.
And then I'm going to tell you, this is confession time.
Oh, you're on air, so you may not want to.
Oh, it's all
You have
it's
no-
all been sorted. Don't worry, I cannot do anything. It's not kosher. I had been driving without registration,
Oh,
you,
so
you
that
didn't
was
and
realise
they
great
pinned
big
me
cross.
as soon as I crossed the. No, so I've been paid out now. I did get $1,700. I've been paid out.
better than nothing.
I've been paid out. The fine comes via WA to $1,500.
Oh, Lois. Oh.
So and now I'm in an ethical dilemma because I've got to ring the RAC and say I wasn't insured. I wasn't registered.
Yeah.
So I rang them and said I'm not.
What would you do, everybody?
Well,
Lois-
actually, you can't do anything that's illegal. So
well, look, even
Well, that's right. Everyone knows that. We can't do
you know, but
anything.
even though Lois takes lots of risks, is what we would see as lots of risks going into the Outback kind of
But
or
for
Moorvale areas
legalities-
with these small four-cylinder cars. What I do know
Legality
about Lois
reasons.
is that you always make sure that you go to the mechanic and make sure your
Always.
car's ready to go, that your tyres are good.
Always.
So you do take a lot of care
Did
in
you
making
get
sure
caught
you're as
because
safe
they-
as you can be.
Did you get caught because they don't actually send the? They don't
I cannot
send
still
the
work it out.
license.
Because I
information
always ring up. I always check my RSC's up, my driver's license up, and my registration's up. Always.
Yeah.
So I literally rung them and said, I need to change my address from the South Australia address to the WA address.
So next thing you get it.
So they've done that,
And you
but
still
they
don't get
hadn't
it.
registered I hadn't registered the car.
You hadn't registered that the car wasn't registered.
I had not registered. But it's like, I'm
that's,
gobsmacked that
If that piece of paper doesn't come in the mail, I don't know. They don't
No.
remember.
I think a lot
my
of people get caught with
communications
that.
Yeah.
And
are not good enough.
there's also that situation now where it's between the two worlds where I never know with most of the government bills particularly is it going to end up in my email box and go into the spam, or is it going to end up in my letterbox? So I had cancelled all the snail mail, but now I've said, no, you better start sending me the paper one as well, because I'm obviously they're going to spam. I'm not getting them.
And not only that, but there's also a lot of scam emails.
Yes.
So you don't know when you get a legit one.
Yes, which one's real, which one's not.
So, yeah, and you don't want to open the link.
No, in case.
If it's a scam one.
But all responsibility is on the individual.
That's absolutely correct. That's absolutely correct. So I got, don't worry, I went to conspiracy theory, or not quite, but it's like entrapment, because I'd rung up, I'd spoken to them, like, I could not believe it, and I got pinged the minute I went across the South Australian border by the South Australian police.
Right. Okay. So there were cameras on the border.
Yeah. So that actually pacified me, because it's like it wasn't personal.
Yeah.
It was. So I rang up the RAC and said I wasn't registered, and he said, I'll just have to put you through to I'll just have to put you through to and they come back. Then I come back to the person who said, we would have insured you anyway. We would have paid out anyway. Because it must have.
And then from there you've ended up in a small town.
Yeah. So well. Then the end of shearing had come, and I was like, okay, time to go home. And do I stay? Tried to find accommodation, nothing. Then I'm getting ready to go on the bus on the Sunday, and one of the friends from church saw me and said, where are you going? I said, I'm going to go and hop on the bus. And she said, no, you're not. Wait. See if we can get you somewhere to. So tomorrow, by the end of it, and that's where I ended up.
Sharing the share house with Mama.
With the young plumber. So, and then...
And on your birthday, no less, I don't know whether you rang me or I rang you, but... And you were... What were you doing on your birthday in this little town, Lois?
No idea.
You were packing Salvation Army packs for the kids for Christmas.
That's right. That was
and you said, this is the best birthday ever, Carol. I said, only you would say that, Lois.
It's beautiful. It's the little shoebox.
Yeah, no,
And
it was really lovely. She showed me on the camera, we were video calling, and she showed me this table that just had, obviously they've been collecting all the bits, and they were like stocking fillers, really, and putting them together.
I think Salvation Army does that all over Australia too.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful thing to see, the way they so organised with it all, and way ahead of time.
Yeah, I did grow up in the Salvation Army.
That's it.
But I always put money towards the Salvation Army appeal. Well, what about that, Stephanie?
There was lots of things from
It
people
gets
all
to a
around
certain
town.
point, and then all of a sudden you hear me huffing and puffing in the background.
Got it. So then what came after that is then I need to get work. And I'm still in that process, because it's like you've got to apply for this and that and the other and it takes 3 weeks.
Is there work there, do you think?
Oh my goodness! If anybody needs work, it's a place to be.
Really? Is it because they've got they're isolated, or they can't get people, or
it's all of the above.
Where's small town or
Walgett,
the same place.
So there's a
Walgett.
Walgett. So the Commonwealth Bank needs a bank teller. No experience necessary. We will train you. Nikki, who called here, she wants a bus driver for the Aboriginal Medical Service. The school wants a cleaner.
Oh wow!
I ended up starting a cleaning business because I needed money now.
Yeah.
And what else is?
Which job are you taking?
And the backpackers place needs a cleaner. So I'm going to do my cleaning.
Really? You're going to go back to that? I would have thought wouldn't it be...
Bus driving.
I would have thought driving the bus driving.
That's what I said. That's what I said to Nikki. It's a no-brainer on bus driving. And she could see that I'd be a good
person. Totally.
But I did say to her at the end, but you realise I've just written off 2 cars. And I'm double excess.
You should not have said that, Lois.
Well, it needed to be said. And then I forgot my the potential supervisor's name, and that didn't go down well either. So, but she just rang today to say, where are you playing?
Yeah.
So
good. That's good.
Yeah. So I
feel better about you doing that than I can't.
Oh, well,
I know she'd go to, but.
No,
I'm just saying, you're getting older, it's going to get harder.
Exactly, but there's something about working for your own self that
I get that.
Good. Anyway, so...
And I do get that.
Yes, ma'am.
Stephanie's been
Any other
producer
questions?
Stephanie right now at the beginning, but we need to finish the story about what happened with Kangaroo Island because we kind of veered off to
so
nowadays rather than...
So really what happened there was there was just a little bit of a tweak in management so that was actually the catalyst to a whole journey.
But also you went from there to Emu Ridge for the Artist in Residence. Which
that was Kangaroo Island, was Emu Ridge. I was doing that there. Then I went up to a wedding with my family in Queensland. Well, I'm nearly at Sydney, so I'm going to go down to a gathering in Sydney in October last year. On the way there, I found a place that I'd known about as a child near Coffs Harbour. Went and knocked on the door. They remembered me. We're having an art exhibition. Do you want to stay? Here's your room.
Oh, wow.
Help us with the community arts project.
Beautiful.
But go down to Sydney first and come back. Go down to Sydney. Suzanne, we're installing for an art exhibition. Do you want to just give us a hand here? You can stay here. You can stay there. Will you house sit here? And then back up to Queensland. Then I went to Wagga. And then I had an offer to go for a drive around.
And that's when you met Geraldine's
sister-in-law.
Yes. Yeah, and she's also an artist, by the way, and does this amazing work. And her and Lois really hit it off.
Yeah.
And she was having an exhibition at the time that you were there, right?
I was like, you can't write it, you can't organise this stuff. Then
shout out to Carol.
Thank you, Carol. Beautiful work, and and thank you for your generosity to me while I was there. Then I had a friend going on a trip around Australia. Do you want to jump in the back seat with us while we do Tasmania? Certainly do. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. I've got family history down there. That opened up a whole heart world. Really, I didn't know until doing that journey, because I knew where my ancestors were, but they were where a lot of the war was back in that they were there in the day. So that just opened up stuff for me. Then I don't know quite which came first. I went up to a memorial site, which was the first Aboriginal massacre that people were held accountable for, and that's at Mile Creek. That was just near a place where my grandfather had started his mission journey, and he went there 100 years after this massacre had happened. So there is now a memorial site. People have made it so that there's an annual recognition there. So I went there to that, and that was very interesting on so many levels. Recognised there for the first time that there's this whole move of the massacre is bringing in, like that was where I saw the Indigenous and the PLO flag together, and that I was like that. Okay, this is a new voice in the story, a new line. Not new, because I'd encountered it back in the 80s here in Perth. So not really, but it was the first visible sign.
Yeah, gotcha.
And so, to me, then did Tasmania, and then from Wagga went over to Israel, and on day 2 that was a prayer journey, on account of the whole thing that had happened there. And on day 2 of that, we went to the massacre site for the festival massacre site. And for me, that was what was shocking was that it was all under gum trees, and it was like this is an Australian landscape.
Correlation.
Yeah. So between the two massacres, it's like, what am I seeing here? So it felt like that there's something we're having to deal with globally, not just locally.
I remember you also sort of coming back from there and seeing that the symbolism of the red flowers, like the skirt
yeah, that's where you shared that red flower story.
The gathering that I'd gone to Sydney for, I met a lady who was working very hard to have the Sturt Desert Pea recognised as the memorial flower for Indigenous people that died on country. And so we've got the red poppy, then the Sturt Desert Pea, and when we went over there, they had red ranunculus.
Do you want to just say, because don't forget we've got mostly overseas people listening to us, so do you want to speak into that story of the red
flower?
Sturt, is it called?
Sturt Desert Pea.
Sturt Desert Pea, what that is and why it's the Indigenous symbol of the same as what the poppy is.
This is something that's being developed. It's something that's unfolding. So the Sturt Desert Pea is red and black, and it's a flower that has been described as like the tears, the blood of Indigenous people that have fallen. And so it just serendipitously, what this lady, she was a florist in Canberra for the Parliament House. So she'd been thinking of this, and then she met people, Indigenous people for whom the story's overlaid, and then she started to develop.
And anybody who's seen this Desert Pea, there's a black, I don't know, seed.
Yeah,
it's
beautiful.
very shiny, and it's quite a really contrasting.
It's a futuristic style of flower. Actually.
Yeah, it is. I was thinking when you showed me, that was the first. I had seen the flower before, but I didn't know the meaning of it for the Indigenous community. That was all.
Well,
learning.
it's a developing meaning, if that makes any sense. Yeah. It's not a given. In some parts of the country it is, but Desert Pea is not a national. It's not
it's symbolic, and I think, I don't know, just about 4 years ago I went to the state conference for history, and stories, and the theme was dark histories, and how we tell the dark stories of place, and there was actually a lot of speakers talking about the massacres, and I remember speaking to a few people, and there's quite a lot of historians. I'm not a historian, but I was there as part of the Bayswater History.
You like the archaeologist says, I'm not an archaeologist, but they go out and still dig. You're like the historian. You might not be officially, but you kind of are.
No, my husband was the chair at some point, and I was the social media person for the Historical Society. So I had a connection. Yeah,
social media.
Yeah, just for a short period of time until someone else came in who actually knew what they were doing. But it was a really great opportunity, and I do really love. Well, I'm a great reader as well, but yes. There was a lot of people who were hearing those stories for the first time
on both sides of the story.
And there were still people. I'm speaking a little bit loudly because I'm getting a bit excited about it, because I still spoke to people who sounded like they were one person who sounded like what he said is, if it's not written down, it didn't happen. I know that's diabolical to hear. It was very hard to hear. And it was difficult and challenging for me to hear that, but it was a conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was an opportunity to have that conversation.
Yeah. But I also was like, I saw you in the same room. You were sitting and listening to that woman's story of the Pinjarra Massacre, and I could hear the denial in that conversation with that person, and I thought, maybe that the penny won't drop for some people, but the reality is that from one room to the other room, I don't know, the dissonance, the cognitive dissonance of hearing someone's story. And
you've been talking about this for years. There's coming.
Yeah, it was interesting.
You know?
Oh, it's definitely coming.
I think it's here.
It's totally here. So it's like,
I would say the majority, if not everyone. Maybe I only spoke to the one person who was in denial, and maybe these are different stories.
But
they're not easy
really,
stories
that
to
denial
hear.
is important to understand and recognise. Like as I was saying, where my grandparents from Tasmania, when they were living, was where a lot of these phenomenal, they were wars were going on. Small scale, I don't know how you would want it, but it was people were fighting for their lives, but on both sides. So, and that never came down through the family stories. None of it came down. To the point that discovering my grandmother, she was related to royalty. But we discovered she also had come out in the first fleet, so it was like, and a very naughty girl at that. So
interesting, isn't it? It's a very Aussie
in order
story.
to make shifts, in order to make some shifts, you have to forget some things. That's what we're now got the luxury of remembering. But no, that's right. But I think we need to be gracious with what people can and cannot process. If we shove a process down each other's throat, either way, it
comes
will disjuncture. I was gonna. That's a whole other conversation.
I know, and we can have that one day.
Yeah, no, but my point there is we have now streamlined Bible bashing, but no Bible included. It's the new righteousness is doing exactly what Bible bashing did.
Is that what you mean when we were talking about nationalist Christian?
No, I'm not
stuff
talking about
the other
Christians
day,
now.
no?
I'm talking about we are not Christian, but we know what righteousness is. I'm telling you, deja vu. It's just the shoes on the other foot. So it's
Okay.
like how we navigate that. The way I've been seeing it is like, so my grandparents and parents have been doing that social justice conversation. That's now gone to mainstream. Now mainstream have got to make all the same mistakes we did. And what I know is that the weight of carrying the social justice flag, most people have got no idea about.
So what does that look like for mainstream reality, do you think, here in Australia?
You may be carrying a flag now very powerfully, but your grandchildren will be wearing the weight of that.
Oh my gosh, that's interesting, because I just posted a little short where I don't know what we were talking about, but I came across it this morning and I reposted it, where I was talking about the conversations around climate change, and you and I was saying I still have friends who are in denial about it, and I can't understand why. And I said, but aren't you thinking about this? And I said, well, even if that does happen, we won't be here for it. And I said, yes, but what about your children and your grandchildren and your grandchildren? They have to clean up your mess, our mess. Does that not matter? So it's a bit of that story. It gets even if you exit the building.
Yeah, but I'm talking something quite different. I'm almost talking the opposite to that.
Okay.
I'm a climate change person, and I'm going to fight that thing right through.
Okay.
What I don't know is where my shadow falls. I don't know what the shadow of that argument is, but my grandchildren are going to find out.
No, in another way, I mean from a different side of the fence, but that is what I was talking about.
Okay.
That your children, aren't you concerned that your children and your grandchildren, your great-children will have to carry that for you?
Yeah.
So you might have exited the building going, well, I won't be here for that, so it doesn't matter. It's literally what somebody had said to me. And I don't think he had even really thought about that until I sort of said, but what about your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren? Well, they will carry that for you.
I still want to push my
okay,
point.
You
push it, because
yeah.
what my point is that I'm talking about the people who are fighting for climate change because it's the only right thing to do.
Okay.
What they don't know is that there are unseen outcomes from that their grandchildren are going to be ashamed of.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the same thing. And it's a different scenario, but the carrying of the shame is the same stuff.
Okay, the carrying of shame is the same stuff. But my point is, you think you're fighting for righteous arguments, and you are.
So two things can be true at the same time.
And that's what you just don't know, is that you're fighting for something, but you're creating another shadow. And that shadow is weighty. And your kids are going to have to navigate it.
Yeah.
You may not have to. You may never enter your mind.
I don't think it does for a lot of people.
Well, it doesn't.
No.
Well, it would
stop you from fighting, maybe. Maybe that's the reason you keep yourself blind to that stuff, because maybe you wouldn't.
What I'm here to say is we need humility at that point.
Yes.
And that, if there's anything I can put on the table for the fact that we've got mainstream social justice at every level, it's highlight humility, highlight what you don't know, keep that on the table, because
also that word humility, because you and I just touched on that a few episodes ago. It's interesting that you're bringing it up again, because what we said was that sometimes people don't actually have the experience of humility or even know it, or even have a conversation with it, until the rug has been pulled out from under them.
And that's the grace. That's the incredible grace of
and then they have
the
no
whole
choice.
journey. The whole journey.
And then they have no choice but to confront that part of their story. 100%. Yeah.
And
I think that's happening on a world level at the moment, Lois. I think that everywhere I look, I'm seeing people out there being out loud and proud for whatever it is that they believe in, and then all of a sudden, and then they're having to deal with the
and that's the grace right there. And I keep saying to myself, Mr. Putin and Mr. Trump,
yes,
they need the world stage to collapse brilliantly on for them to get that And that's grace.
Yes.
That's grace.
Well,
And the
it's
whole
still
world
a
is-
mirror. I just see that, like, if you, I trust in the process that these are two individuals that have their own agendas, but what they are mirroring to the rest of the world. If you haven't done your business with this is what it looks like on a grand scale. So, like, it's a good mirror for the rest of us to learn from. Lois, on that note, because that was actually beautiful. That little segment there, it was lovely to talk about, by the way. Is there anything else? Now we're going to have many other opportunities now where we can dial you in now with the new programming anytime we want.
All the way to Walgett.
Walgett, yes.
Walgett.
But I'm hoping too, from this experience, it would be lovely. How you used to send me those little short videos from Emu Ridge and Kangaroo Island. I'd love more of that,
Okay.
so that I can post them on Beyond Survival
Well,
page.
Coming back to the desert peas,
Oh,
and that historical conference that I went to, it
yes.
was about truth telling.
Yeah.
And that was what was so
it's definitely a
so interesting for me
Coming up.
to stand in front of someone who said, if it's not written down, it didn't happen. Which is a very Western mind.
well, hence
But
why
it's-
the Trump administration is trying to get rid of all their history.
But the thing is, it is all being written down.
It doesn't matter, yeah. Look, even
It
if
totally
So,
is. It
when they
totally
remove-
is. That's totally
Yes.
right. It's,
Yeah.
And the books
it,
are being
it will
opened.
always
It's like,
exist. Yeah,
this is
it'll
the Last
always
Judgment
exist.
is the name of this one.
They can remove it
Yeah.
from history as much as they like, but it's
Yeah.
still always going to be available and always there. I think about how they removed all the history in both the Smithsonian of any of the black history or Indigenous history over there. They just removed all the text out of all the libraries and all the universities and all the this really shame
Redacted
stuff.
at a cultural level.
Well, and then removed it all from the web pages, including at the most sacred place of, if any, black soldiers or Indigenous soldiers or any military, in the military that were buried in, is it Arlington, which is the military kind of, it's a very sacred, the military take it very seriously. And they've removed all the anyone who was
Come
about
back.
the Indigenous or
You can't quite.
immigrants of any kind, but brown people they call them, removed it all. And also from the Smithsonian Museum, they've had to. But I thought all those historians in all those places, but they'll be putting them down on distant. As soon as the Trump administration's gone, they'll be loading it back up. So I think because they weren't pushing back on it, right? And everyone sort of said, why are they pushing back? And I thought, because they know better. Be quiet, be still, do what they want to do.
You'll come back triple fold.
Keep it all. The wonderful thing now is you can keep it all right there on a little hard drive, and then when it all comes down and all that's finished and over with,
That's what, I find that interesting because I think there's a shuffle across the planet of
well, this is happening not just America.
and
That's what I'm saying. It's happening
institutionalisation
in,
and
that's
all the
happening
big
everywhere.
sort of the governing bodies. We're looking at the United Nations and the international. Everything is being questioned and
Yeah.
there's
Hey, you would-
crumbles basically to the foundations of
Yes.
planet.
It's on.
Yes, it's on. And last week you were talking
it's
about the
reforming,
othering.
but things are breaking down before.
Hey, the other.
reform.
Sorry to interrupt again, but how you were talking last week or the week before about othering. That we've got to stop doing the othering because it's happening here. It's happening.
Yeah.
What's happening in America might be this gigantic mirror, and we're horrified. But the truth is, on a much smaller, hidden scale, it's happening in the UK. It's happening here. It's happening in many other countries.
That's what going from massacre site to massacre
Yes.
site told me
Yes.
was this is a global
Yes.
issue,
Yes.
and we are globally
tackling
looking
it
at
right now.
Yeah, and my personal conclusion is don't buy in.
No, that's it. And that's what I think all the historians at all these museums and universities, they're saying,
Don't buy in.
give them their money, don't buy into it. We know what we have to do, and when it's all over, we'll just put it all back. It's not lost. And it can never be lost. Once it's whether it's recorded through word, passing down verbal word, or whether it's in the form of a digital, it cannot be lost. So you can't remove it just because you think removing a few words from a bit of paper is going to remove it from history, but it does not. And I think that's what historians understand and why they haven't everyone goes, why are they fighting back? Why are they capitulating? Why are they giving Trump the money he's asking for? Because he threatens them with this, that and the other and all the rest of it. And I said, because they know better. They know better. They know these are people who are used to waiting to get things done. They're used to playing the long game. Make no mistake. And they know this has happened before. They fought for years even to get it in the history books, right? So you think they're going to just like, no, of course not. They're just going to bide their time. It's all good. If they want you to fight back.
Well, that's my point about don't buy in.
Yes.
Is
Yes.
that actually the food for the spirit of this thing is to bite.
It's so much bigger.
Yeah,
It's so much bigger than that.
The minute you bite it,
You've lost it.
Well, you've fed it. You've actually empowered it.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree too. Well, that's a good point to
To
wrap up.
Is
where we
there,
all
I
agree.
Is there anything else that you would like to share with us, Lois, before we sign off?
The meaning of her name.
Sorry,
That was me just looking for a way.
No, but it is a beautiful thing. You're right, Stephanie.
Yeah, so my name's Lois Ruth Schenk. I'm the daughter of Roderick William Schenk and Ruth Schenk, Knee Street. I was given the name Lois, my father's auntie. He had two aunties. Oh, he had a number, but there was Auntie Lois and Auntie Gertrude, and he was going to call me Gertrude, but decided Lois. I'm Lois. So Lois is my first name, and Lois is a name that means to hear, and also to fight, or it's a warrior. It's a warrior.
Warrior spirit.
Yeah. And Ruth, my middle name, that's my mother's name, and that is taken from the story of Ruth, who was an outsider who was taken far in and became a highly significant member in the Jewish community, grandmother of their famous King David, and it's about faithful friendship, and it's about the friendship between the women. This was the daughter-in-law who says to her mother-in-law, where you go, I will go. Where you dwell, I will dwell. Your people will be my people. Your God will be my God. It was, and the women of the community said, that woman, she's better than 7 sons. Or she's better. and then my surname Schenk, I think it came to Australia through France, then England, and then out on a little boat to Australia. And that is the German word to pour, and it's the name that's given to cupbearers.
Hence the vessel that you've worked with for many years.
Yeah.
Not that you would have realised that.
No,
probably,
no,
though.
But I can see the
Not at
connection
all.
now that you just said that. Yeah, makes sense now.
But for those who know their Bible, my father, one of his favourite Bible stories was the story of Nehemiah, who was cupbearer to the king.
Oh, nice. Well, that is a really good note to end on. So I just want to thank you again for joining us at our table today.
Thank you for the privilege.
And I can't wait to do another one with you. Catch up with what you're doing up in Walgett.
Yeah.
And
Let's see how
looking
long
forward
before
to
you come
the
back.
potential exhibition there. That I'd love to do that again. That'd be great.
That'd be lovely.
Yep. And to all of you out there, thanks for your patience and listening to us and
You're
going
welcome.
all over the place and back.
You're welcome.
And thank you, Stephanie, for your patience. But we say that to you, I feel, every week. The amount of times we have to say, Stephanie's left the building again.
We'll see. Well, thank you to everybody for joining us
And
at the
thank you.
table.
And I do hope to all you wonderful new subscribers, thank you again. The greatest gratitude. We
Keep tuning
appreciate you subscribing and watching the videos and things. Thank you.
Be
'Cause
part of the story.
yeah, big part of it, but it's really a wonderful thing that you're helping us help others, which is you can't get better than that.
Thank you. In art and dream may you proceed with abandon. In life may you proceed with balance and stealth. And I feel like Patty.
And on that one, we can say,
No,
don't forget to laugh, love, and breathe, everybody. That the most important part is to breathe.
Or as we say when we say goodbye to one another, Cal.
Love,
See you later.
and love. And you just say see you later, and then we say over and out, Stephanie. Stephanie's left the building.
I say see you later.
And Gizzy
See ya.
agrees with you.
See you in
This
the
is
gym.
really getting too
Yeah.
much for me now. Can I get out of here?
you.